spiel, of course, about Trish Stratus going to win this match because they need to do something with her. And they didn't. But she did take some bumps in the match, which was impressive for a woman her age, especially in a impact ladder match like that. But it was Io Sky getting the win here at Money in the Bank in a crafty way, in a very, very crafty way, with the handcuffs, of course, handcuffing Bayley and Becky Lynch in between the ladders and climbing up over Bayley. And here they tease that again with Bayley knocking the ladder down when Io was going to originally get it. So how do you guys feel about this match? Of course, I'm happy with it. But what are you guys' thoughts on the match?
Let me go, Brian.
You want to go on this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
take your victory lap.
My incredible knowledge of wrestling history, I called Io winning this match. And you know what? It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see. I think the more surprising thing, and I don't know if they're just saving it or whatever, because I watched the press conference saying that they're like, oh yeah, we're still cool. It was just, and these matches, it's like everybody for themselves, so there's no tension and blah blah blah. But that's definitely brewing because you don't do something like that on a big pay-per-view. And like, you're still gonna be friends after this or whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, during the match, I did think Becky was just gonna like pull it and win again, and I was like,
no, I didn't want that.
I didn't want that. But there were just a couple of spots where I was like, shit, Becky's gonna win it.
If it's one thing WWE does, you don't win in your home country. So
she's not from Ireland. I mean, she's not from England.
It's close. United Kingdom.
It's literally across the pond.
Everyone loses.
That's like saying, we're in Japan. We're gonna have somebody from China. And it's like, it's the same thing.
They haven't gone there yet, but hey,
no.
If Asuka loses in Japan,
across an ocean, no.
If Shinsuke loses in Japan, you know why?
God. That'll be the day. But yeah, this match definitely has some great spots. I fucking love that spot with Zelina and Zoe. Woo.
Code Red.
Yeah. The spot of the match.
That reminded me of a few. I don't know if it was. I think it was Andrade and Ricochet. They did some type of thing like that, and they like bounced. No, it was Andrade and Finn, I think.
No, what's the dude with the mask?
Blue Finn or whatever.
Dude with the mask, Selena del Sol. I can't remember his name.
Kalisto. I remember him.
Kalisto. Was it Kalisto? It might have been Kalisto. I don't know. Yeah. It was something like where they hit the ladders and they bounced off, and I was like, holy shit. But hey, I think at some point Zelina might get her. I don't know. Maybe already passed with the whole Puerto Rico thing, but I think she should get another shot.
No,
because she's definitely been showing like another one like Damian Priest, like she's been getting a nice showing and being put in all these spots, and she's been showing out.
Yeah, she's been doing well. Yeah,
sure. And this one was a toss up because there were not a lot, but there were like two main stories, which was the Bayley, Io, Becky, Trish, and we're like, okay, that just leaves Zelina and Zoe, and I was just like, hey, are they really gonna? Let me just again another pick where I'm just like, let me just throw it out there. I want Io to win. She's very hot right now, especially after that match with Bianca, where it's just like, hey, let's just capitalize on a new star, and I think we already know where she's probably going, but we could be wrong. I don't know. I feel like she's definitely gonna go after Asuka, but
this ain't stardom. Nah. As much as they should do it, having two Japanese women feuding with one another, they're not going to.
They might. They should.
They might.
They're not going to.
It might be a feud. I think it'll be a cash in though.
Because the first thing they're gonna say is, how can we communicate this feud to the American audience? Because both of them
do it how you're supposed to do it. If they're gonna speak in Japanese on TV, put the subtitles at the bottom. Going back on YouTube,
it's live. How do you
make it up? Until
everybody on Twitter is like, that's not what she said.
Until somebody catches you, just say, hey, what are the lines you guys are going to say to each other? And then just go like that. Or just have them do it
Mhm.
and then do it
thing,
after.
I'm not saying it's going to be a feud between them. I'm saying she'll
It
cash
should.
in on her.
It should. There's a story there.
Yeah.
It's
I
young.
mean, yeah, there's a
You got
lot
the
of
old
shit.
guard versus the young guard. They were both, I believe, they were on a team in Stardom.
I don't know.
I
Their
think they're on.
story.
I think they're on a team back in Stardom and stuff like that. I mean, they can definitely do it. Like they're talented enough to do it. So hopefully they're not discouraged by that. Like those, as I always say, again, we talked about it. Those days of getting over with English is over. Like you do not have to do that.
Yeah, right, you really
I
don't.
understand it. I understand it from a standpoint of what they're saying. Like, yeah, they're going to be scared of doing that, but it's like we're so far past that, and these are so many. These two are charismatic. If they're going to go that direction, go that direction. Don't let the
I'm very happy that they're giving Shinsuke more airtime to talk, and I'm like, hey, kudos to you guys. Let's do the same thing with the women because I feel that they've been giving Io a more. Yeah, she'll do her say all her stuff in Japanese, but she knows English as well, and she like even if it's short, she's still getting straight to the point. Be like, hey, maybe it might be Asuka. You guys see and wait,
Yeah,
so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so overall, the women's Money in the Bank was a very good match. Obviously, spotted the match goes to Zelina Vega. I think initially when we were making our picks, I think I had it down to Zelina Vega and Io Sky, and obviously I made the wrong choice. But I honestly thought that Bayley and Io that their story didn't necessarily need the Money in the Bank briefcase yet. I still felt like they still had a couple more weeks of actually building up this eventual split that's coming. That they didn't need Money in the Bank, but I could also see that how having the Money in the Bank does help the feud because now you got the jealous Bayley seeing Io now on the rise. So we already know either Bayley's gonna have some influence when Io cashes in. Maybe she screws the cash in, and then that's what starts the feud. I mean, if it ends up being against Asuka, I feel like that's what they're going to end up doing because they don't want to have the Io and Asuka feud. Mm-hmm. But that's just my opinion. But overall, good match. Glad to see Io Sky's on the rise. I think she's been a fan of all of ours since her NXT run. So good to see her with the briefcase.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Again, we all saw her in NXT with the jacket and the entrance and all that. It's like we need that back on main TV. Like that can translate to the main roster. We need that. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was one of the better matches on the night. Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, all of them getting their shots in and stuff like that. Again,
it's funny about Io when you talk about her in NXT. When she first came to NXT, I asked myself, I'm like, yo, how are they gonna make this woman a heel? Because she seems just so likable. She's good, and they say that she's one of the top women's Japanese wrestlers in the world. Mm-hmm. Her look with this before the heel turn with the smiles and everything. I just thought, like, how you gonna make her a heel? Because everybody loves her. But then when she pulled off the heel turn, I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah, she's really talented. She's like. No, but it's just another thing too. Is a person who uses high flying maneuvers, they're usually not a heel. They're usually a baby face, right? They play to the sky, they jump off the ropes, they do the high impact moves. They're not usually a heel. So to see her actually pull that off, it's like there's versatility within this character that we can play on. And I think that's something that helped her translate to the main roster, even being in Damage and Control, eventually getting over. So we're going to see her now with the Money in the Bank and seeing how that plays it forward with that. But I'm, again, happy that Io won. The creativity in her winning the way they did with the handcuffs. Of course, Trish brought out the handcuffs to try to stop Becky Lynch. And I thought that was kind of cool how they did that, bringing in the different element. I don't think I've seen a pair of handcuffs in the Money in the Bank match. So that was interesting to see that. And then see it play like that with Bayley and her in the ring. And then Io coming in and handcuffing them both together. I thought that was pretty dope. I thought that was fun. Awesome. I thought that was awesome. We can get into our